All right, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Bentoud, and we're going to go over eliminating portals of distraction to grow your agency. Now, it's going to be extremely important if you're running an agency and you don't really have a schedule set up properly, or you're not really aware of all the ridiculous amount of wasted time there is throughout your day. But mostly, if you're running an agency and you feel like at the end of the day you've just only really responded to clients, done client work, or you haven't really spent a lot of time on growing your agency or improving your systems or really working on the agency because you've been so trapped working in the agency. And I'm going to show you basically the basics to save a lot of time and the more advanced way to manage your time and kind of what my schedule looks like to make sure that I can handle both the ridiculous amounts of chaos that comes with scaling an agency and building the agency and making sure that I still have time to work on the agency. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Let's start first with the basics, which is where pretty much 99% of people waste a ridiculous amount of time. It's right here, social media, get rid of it. I don't follow anybody on Instagram. On Facebook, I have Chrome app called Facebook Newsfeeder Eradicator. And it just gets rid of the news feed. So when you go onto Facebook, it's blank. There's no news feed. Same thing with YouTube. You can eradicate the homepage so that nothing shows up. It's just 100% blank. So that way you're not distracted by the suggested videos and all that stuff, okay? Same thing with LinkedIn. You can eradicate the news feed. Again, you should do it. Google suggested websites. So when you go to Google and you see the Google search bar, below that, usually there's these little suggested websites or different things there. You can get rid of that, and I recommend getting rid of those. If you have apps on your phone and you look at your phone and there's like 400 apps on the first page, on the second page, on the third page, get rid of all of them. I don't have any apps on the homepage of my phone. I have like 3 at the bottom. One is Toggle, the other one is the clock, and the third one, I believe, is my bank account. I'm not sure exactly what it was. But you can get rid of all of those. Laptop home screen, if you have like 400 different applications on the home screen of your laptop, get rid of it and clean it up, because this thing takes energy on your mind. And all these little applications that you see, each and every single one of them is a portal to distraction, right? Again, your goal in growing your agency is to grow your agency, right? It's to like achieve some form of mission or vision that you have in your mind. And it's not to browse on Facebook and read other people's posts. It's not to go on Instagram. It's not to be watching YouTube videos that are completely irrelevant to the growth of your agency. It is 100% to grow your agency, and that's it. So I still use YouTube. I'm not saying like get rid of it. If I if I have some question and I don't find any answers, I'll search on YouTube. But I'll like block that off and then search on YouTube. I'm not gonna like open up YouTube, see all these crazy like suggested videos and then get distracted and go see something else. Next up, you have household things. So like in your house, if you just have like a bag of Doritos out right there and you can visually see it, even if your mind doesn't consciously see a bag of Doritos, subconsciously when you're walking past it, you'll see it. And your brain will be like, oh, Doritos, like, you know, those are really tasty Doritos. Like I wanna eat those things right now. And let's go have some of those Doritos, and that'll distract you and then it'll kill your body, etc. So optimize your house, like when you're walking around your house, when you're walking around your office, make sure that there's no things that'll distract you and pull you off into the side. I know this because we used to have like different snacks, things laying out in the kitchen, and I would find myself just like snacking on these things, even though I wasn't that hungry. Or basically, if my office was really disorganized, I would wake up and I would just find myself like cleaning things and organizing it instead of just immediately getting into work. So again, hire a maid. That'll solve that problem. Anyways, optimizing your house for basically eliminating these distractions is a good thing. The kitchen is a big area where most people probably spend a lot of time. So these are the basics. And the more advanced is really just how do you actually schedule your calendar so that you can combat and balance chaos and building. So chaos can be defined as in the work, in the weeds, doing deliverables, doing client calls, handling with like fires, managing or communicating with team members, doing things that it needs to be done because otherwise the client won't get results. But doing these things does not necessarily grow the agency. It does not necessarily improve the systems. Okay, it's more in the business than on the business. And there's some things that are on the business here. Like I consider doing a sales call chaos, but most people would consider that growth and working on the business because you're doing a sales call and you might close a client. I still consider it chaos, which is fine. But for the most part, this is in the business work. Building is on the business. This is where you're actually building. And I love building. I get depressed if I'm not building. Like, seriously, there was like a week where I was just dealing with client chaos. Actually, well, if you rewind 2 years ago, I used to just only do client work, and like I just was doing deliverables all day, every day, and I got super depressed and hated my life and hated my agency because I wasn't building. And building is fun. This is where your creative mind goes to work, and you think to yourself, okay, the agency is right now at $40,000, $50,000 per month. We want to get it to $100,000 per month in the next 12 months. You know, what can we build to like push the needle and double the business? Or, you know, our current systems are really inefficient. We want to be able to increase the output per account executive. What can we build to do that, right? So that's really exciting. Now, the problem is that most people do not optimize their calendar or their schedule so that they even have time to build. Most people just leave their calendar blank and they leave it wide open so that anyone at any time could book a call, usually between 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 or 7 to 9 or however long you work. Most people, they have a calendar and they allow people to book calls with them at any time during the whole week. And this is a terrible mistake that a lot of people make. And actually, I'm making this video because yesterday and the day before yesterday, I had a coaching call with one of the agency owners in our program, and basically their calendar was blank. It was wide open, and I was like, holy shit, this is a problem. You know, this is going to seriously, you know, limit your growth and your abilities to scale your agency. And then I talked to one of our account executives in our agency who is doing amazing. I mean, she signs a lot of clients. She's basically been just doing great, in my opinion, in terms of her abilities. And then I saw her calendar and it was like blank, wide open. Anybody could book a call at any time. And then I asked her how she feels about everything right now, and she's managing a lot of client accounts and she's training a new account executive. She's doing a lot of things. And she said she feels like a lot of her time is in doing client work and responding to clients, and it's getting very chaotic. And so chaos is beginning to control her life. And for a lot of agency owners, this is the case where chaos controls their life. A client sends them an email and they try to respond right away, and then they get pulled into some other task, and then they're on Facebook, and then they're like all of a sudden they're doing a sales call or they're doing a client call, and then they're back to their email, and they just never really actually sit down and laser focus on one thing for 10 hours straight. So to do building properly and to actually advance your agency as quickly as possible, you need to set up your schedule to be able to do that for you. So this is what my Google Calendar looks like. And this is just a basic high-level overview. I take Sundays off. I don't work Sundays, but Monday through Saturday I work, and I usually wake up at 7:30 a.m. I start work at 9. When I wake up, I do a morning ritual. It's the same morning ritual every single morning. It takes me an hour and a half. I basically read my vision. I meditate for an hour. I eat breakfast, and I read this thing called ACIM, A Course in Miracles. It takes about a minute, and it's really good. So I get all the foundations done, and then I'm like in the zone and I'm ready to go, usually at 9 a.m. And here's the best part about this. On Tuesdays, my calendar is completely blocked. Nobody can book a call with me. On Thursdays, it's completely blocked. Actually, on Thursdays at 10 a.m. CST, we do a Q&A call or a coaching call in our agency growth program. So that's the only call I have on Thursdays. And then on Saturdays, again, completely blocked off. It's a building day. So I have 3 days where nobody can ever book a call with me. And that means my whole day is free. I don't have to think about a phone call coming up or a sales call or a client call or a team call or anything else. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, these days I leave my calendar open usually for like half the day. Half the day is still booked off so I can continue building, but for most people, I would recommend just leaving it open because Most agency owners don't really have the team to handle all the chaos. In our case, we do have a team, and I can spend more of my time building than managing chaos. But the point is that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are chaos days where people can book calls with me. I can do sales calls. I can talk to our team. I can do that. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is building days. And this allows me to go really deep. If I need to rebuild the website, I can get it done in a week. Most people would take a month and a half, right? If I need to build a whole new lead gen system, I can usually get it done in a week. But again, there's these days where chaos comes in. And recently in our agency, we had chaos because we're changing accounting firms. And in the process of changing accounting firms, our current accounting team or like person that was doing accounting kind of dropped the ball a bit, and I had to rebuild all of the invoicing system and like invoice all the clients. And so that took like a full day of my time, and that was chaos, right? But the point is that you need to set up this schedule so that you can even have time to work on your agency. And the important thing is that you need to basically allow the chaos to build up. So on these days when you're building, you need to just mentally shut off any communication and go deep into whatever it is that you're building, whether it's a lead gen system, whether it's an automation system, whether it's improving your systems, whether it's hiring a new account executive, hiring an assistant, hiring a sales rep. It doesn't matter what it is. The point is that this is growth, right? This is on the agency, and it could be not just like building a lead gen system. It could be building a whole new, client reporting dashboard so that you're providing a better service for your clients, okay? That could also be a form of building. The point is that you're building something. You're not just like doing a deliverable or doing a client call. There's a difference between doing and building, and again, the more time you spend building, the more quickly you'll be able to grow your agency. But in the beginning, it's hard because it's just you. You may not have 2 or 3 account executives. You may not have a full team that can handle all of the chaos. And so in the very beginning, it's very important that you schedule your calendar so that you have time to build, all right? So with that being said, the last thing I didn't mention was that, I start work usually at 9. I finish at 9 p.m. So I have a 12-hour period, 6 days per week to work. Of course, I'm not working 12 hours because I'm also eating lunch and dinner, and then 3 days a week I work out. So for some days it's usually about 10 and a half hours once you factor the time lost eating and all that stuff. So then I stop work at 9. I hang out with my girlfriend for 2 hours and get in bed 11 and try to fall asleep by 11:30. Lately, I haven't been able to follow this because we got 2 new cats. You can probably hear them in the background, and they are the second order consequences of getting 2 baby kittens is insane. These things will keep you up at night and cause a lot of chaos. So be prepared for that if you get an animal. Anyways, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you had questions, let me know. I hope that you book off 3 to 2 or at least 2 days a week for building where nobody can book calls with you. It'll make a tremendous difference in your agency. This is basic time management stuff, but it took me years to figure out. Very fundamental, very important. Let me know if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button below. I post a video once a week every Monday. The rest of my time is usually spent building. Thanks. Ciao.